Who wants to go first?
No, we need to introduce ourselves. Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh, you suck at this. Isn't that what you said the other day?
Probably.
Okay, I'm Rianne and this is Indy.
Hi.
We just thought we'd do a little bit of a get to know each other, a little podcast. It's our first time doing this, so we're going to get to know one another and let you guys get to know us and who you'll be maybe dealing with in the future.
So we are working on something, so hence this. But yeah, so we thought we would just start with a few questions about us and who we are and our lives and all that sort of thing. I'm sweating. Do you want to go first?
We're probably going to have a little bit of laughs in this as well.
All right. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Oh my God. Do you want me to just see what this looks like?
What a waffle.
I'm just gonna walk. We actually are both from Melbourne. We moved up here to the Gold Coast. I moved up in 2017 and
I moved up 2019, I think, just before COVID.
Yeah, actually I think that's when we met.
Yeah.
Because we were crying. I was crying or something. Anyway, that's how we met. We both
I
are very
remember
similar.
I went to your house and I didn't even know that it was your house. Because remember
Yes,
because
yes, you were meeting a friend. Anyway, then we kicked it off and we've been friends ever since. We have similar mindsets, we have similar goals, and what better time to sort of go into a little idea that we have, and hopefully it works out well for us.
Hopefully.
So anyway, we're going to start off with some questions for the audience, whoever's watching, whoever's interested, whoever wants to know anything about us.
Okay, let's
hang
start.
on. Are you going to be showing your camera?
Huh? Oh, well, I was just going to, we can still hold this here, I reckon. Just so I can ask the question.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, because we can crop it. Okay. All right, you ready? No, you can't look at your notes because I don't know my answers. Wait, where are my answers? Where are my answers? Oh gosh, I did them on a document, so I don't have them.
Oh well.
Okay.
You're gonna have to think.
Are you red or am I? You're purple.
I'm purple.
Okay.
Yeah, fall back too close. You ain't even want me. Trust my.
What was your mindset like 5 years ago compared to now?
Okay, so 5 years ago, what was that, 2020? I had absolutely no idea.
I think just like look at both.
Come on. 5 years ago, where was I? Probably lost in life. Not sure where I was going, not sure what I was doing. 2020, I think I was working in hospitality. So I currently do mental health and disability. Prior to that, I was in hospitality.
But what were you doing? Like, what was your mindset 5 years ago? I feel like we literally both just didn't really give a.
Yeah, I think so. I think we didn't really know what we were doing. And I mean, take back 5 years ago, we were 25. So it probably wasn't important to us at that stage what we were going to be doing in the future.
Thinking back, I feel like we literally weren't doing anything. All I can remember is just burly walks.
and probably partying.
Yeah, and going burly pub.
Literally.
But what do you feel like your mindset was like then compared to now?
Okay, so back then I didn't know very much about business. I always had this idea that people who had businesses were extremely intelligent, clever. I didn't see myself ever being a business owner or being able to have the skills to develop and learn to create a business. I think I was very set in my ways. I was happy to go to work, come home from work, have no, like I didn't have to answer to anybody. I didn't have to do anything like that. I didn't have any pressure put on me. I just went to work and I came home.
Yeah.
And I think that was
probably, yeah, true. Okay.
Okay. What did the old you believe that you've had to completely understand?
Say it again.
What did the old you believe you've... This isn't worded right. Okay, Indy's question. What did the old you believe that you've completely unlearned?
I feel like, and obviously you know my little spiritual path I'm on right now, but I think like the fact that I felt like I was not worthy, and I think that's probably something that I've had to unlearn, but also still trying to unlearn that. But like going back years ago, and obviously you know what I was like, I think like I was obviously going through what I was going through because I felt like I wasn't worthy, and now having gone through everything that I've gone through, I've finally come to the realization that that's what was wrong, and I'm having to unlearn that. So it's still like
old behaviors,
yeah,
old habits.
Yeah, and I think it's still like a process, but I'm so much more aware of it now. So unlearning that is probably been so challenging, but it is still so challenging. But I think that's probably the main thing.
Yeah, and also really rewarding along the journey, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Love that for me.
Yeah. So funny.
Okay. What is the hardest lesson life has taught you so far?
The hardest lesson.
Yes, you have two here. You can only choose one from each section.
What was my next one?
If you could go back and talk to yourself during your
Yeah,
lowest...
I like that one.
Okay.
Better.
All right. If you could go back and talk to yourself during your lowest moment, what would you say?
Get up. As
Get up.
simple as that. Literally get up. Because I remember during my toughest times and my challenges, I would lay in bed. I'd feel sorry for myself. You know, I would wonder who's going to come and save me. And I think that that's something that I have adapted to learning and growing from. And I mean, as you get older.
I feel like you're... No, do you know what? Do you know what?
I need to look at my notes.
No. Do you know what I feel like as well?
What was the question?
So if you could go back and talk to yourself during your lowest moment, what would you say?
Yeah,
I feel like one thing for you as well would be, because like I still have it implanted in my head when you got this, that tattoo that says time.
Yes.
So
okay, funny that I've got all these little motivational quotes all over my body.
Yeah.
For different times in my life that were challenging for me, and it's a reminder on my body now that no matter what stage you're in at that moment in your life, it will get better. So
Yeah.
I've got like come what may, and I remember I was
What
in
is it?
Thailand. Come what may.
Come what may. Come what may.
No, it means like whatever happens, happens.
Oh,
and you know, like I was in Thailand at that stage and I was going through some issues like back home here, and I was like, what's meant to be will be. And I did get time written on my ankle.
Yeah, wait, when did you get that one?
Only a few years ago.
What were you going through then?
No, but I have time written on my ankle because I remember that was a challenging time for me. That was in 2019. I got that. I just moved back from Canada. I was a little bit sad.
I forgot about that.
Through a breakup, this and that. You know, the rest of the down moments when you end things with somebody. So yeah, time does mean it's just a reminder to me that whatever you're going through in that moment, it does pass and it will heal.
Yeah.
And you can move through.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do like that.
Yeah. So, and then I've got like a couple of other little ones, but that doesn't matter.
I had mine covered up my inspo. What goes around comes around.
Why don't you have 222? Oh, you do.
I do.
Okay. So, Indy's question.
I put the little the one with the red thing as well.
Okay, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself during your lowest moment, what would you say?
I think a few things. I would say trust the process. Like everything is always going to work out. Like I remember when there's been times when I've literally been in a ball crying in bed, and if I could just go back and remind myself that it's going to be okay and just trust whatever is happening is happening.
Yeah.
And I actually saw something on Instagram today or TikTok, and it was like everything that, oh, what was it? Everything that doesn't work out. Oh, what it is. Okay, irrelevant. But anyway, I think like
that's a really good quote. That is awesome.
No, but I think like
thank you.
What was the question again? If you go back and yeah, I think just trusting the process and everything is going to work out. Like regardless of what's going on, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's probably the main thing.
Definitely.
Like obviously going back again to everything that's whatever, like it's always going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, like
there's
that's okay.
That's
something that was the quote. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, if it doesn't, it's not a loss. It's a redirection.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen that
yeah, and I was like, that is so true, and I really resonate with that because that's what
yeah. All right. So we're both pretty similar in that question, in that answer, I think.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. What's a challenge you thought that you would never get through but did?
Okay, I don't really want this podcast to be about relationships, but that is something that is highlighted as a really big challenge for me.
Well, I feel like that's something that sort of shaped us to obviously be here right now, like everything that we've gone through with relationships and stuff. So
definitely. Wait, what was the question? What's the hardest challenge?
What's a challenge that you thought you would never get through but did?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a challenge for me, learning to live without somebody that is in your life for so many years, and then them just becoming a stranger is really hard because, like I said, I don't want this to be about relationships, but unfortunately that is a highlight for me. That was a massive challenging situation, and I'd lay in bed and it felt like I'd lost a leg.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to move. That was something that I'm really proud that I overcame, and anyone close to me knows that that situation went back and forward for a long time, and eventually I had the strength to walk away from something that no longer served me, and again I was redirected into the next thing, and that was when I opened up my business last year. I've since found an amazing partner who is deserving, and I
love you, Troy.
No, he's great, and I look at that as if I don't regret anything that's happened to me in life, but it has definitely strengthened who I am as a person and what I will and won't accept moving forward in the future.
Love that. So beautiful.
Okay, your turn. What kept you going when things weren't working?
I actually can't remember what I wrote for this.
Hang on, must I add, we've got a whole list of questions here and we don't know what we're going to ask each other. It can be picked out of anything.
Yeah.
So Indy's not prepped for these answers. What kept you going when things weren't working?
Hope. I think going back, I feel like this has all come at a good time because literally in the last 2 weeks I've gone headfirst into my little spiritual journey.
Manifest.
Yeah, no, I have. And prior to all this, I think what would keep me going is I would just hope and I would just wish. But now I think obviously changing my thought process and changing my beliefs, and it all comes back to internal and knowing and trusting myself that it will everything will work out. So that's enough for me to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Hang on, can we just backpedal a little bit? What do you do for work and what has been your background? Where have you actually come from? We've missed this part.
So I'm from Melbourne as well. As we said, I moved here 2019. I also do disability and support work. I am a makeup artist, although I don't do that as much anymore. I've sort of stepped away from that. And I'm also really into trading on the Forex market. So I didn't think that I would ever be able to teach myself or learn that or whatever, but I have. And yeah, which I love that for me. Because I didn't.
And how long have you been doing disability and mental health support?
I think it's just over a year now, which also the fact that I've stuck at this job because I think I counted, I've had 15 I've had 15 jobs in my life since I started working. 15, I think it's over 15 now jobs, and my longest job I think was 2 years because I hate working for someone else. But I think it's just because I know inside what I want out of life and what I want with my career. But in saying that, this particular job, which you basically got me into, I feel like is the best job if I'm going to be employed, the best job to be doing, and it's so rewarding.
It is.
So yeah, but hopefully can step away from that eventually. But yeah,
that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next up, what is one mindset shift that has generally changed your entire life? Can we pause? No caller ID is calling you.
Oh,
can I answer it?
Just be stop calling me.
Hello? Hello?
I'll put my phone on D&D.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Back to the question. All right. What's one mindset shift that has generally changed your entire life?
I think I would have to give a shout out to ChatGPT because he's literally my best friend.
He literally
has helped me.
I thought you called her a girl.
No, he's a boy. I've changed the voice on it to this Black American guy too. So like ChatGPT has helped me so much with my mindset, and I think just going like headfirst into mindset and manifestation and personal growth, that as a whole has sort of helped me and made me realize that like I can actually achieve anything that I want. I just have to switch my thoughts and my beliefs, and doing all that internal work is as a whole is something that is going to shift my entire mindset.
Yeah.
Is that what the question was?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I think knowing and going deep into this personal development work is something that is starting to change my entire life, but something that in the long term is completely going to change my life.
Yeah. So it's like a progressive thing.
Yeah.
Like so you're continuously learning about
yeah,
yourself.
you should see me in my room with like my incense and my journaling and
your incense. Did you get that from me?
My tapping is
Crystals too.
But yeah, I think as a whole, like that's everything.
Indy sitting in her room at
No,
night.
it's called EFT tapping. Look into it if you don't know what it is.
Isn't that what you sent me the other day?
Probably.
Okay, so that was her answer.
Okay. Do you believe that you have to hustle 24/7 to be successful?
I'm probably going to get a little bit of backlash from this because no matter what answer I say, someone is going to challenge it. Yes and no. I don't think there's a answer more so yes or more so no. I think that if you are committed to something, you do have to put 100% into it, but do you have to hustle 24/7? If I'm speaking to some billionaire on the other side of the world, he would probably say
or like
yes.
the rules is like I get up, I work for 17 hours a day and I sleep for 5 minutes.
Literally, like I think sleep is really important, and I don't think that you can work as productive if you are lacking sleep or if you're not switching off at nighttime. I think that you set yourself a timetable or a time slot through the day where you go, okay, I'm focusing on this for this amount of time, and I'm going to, get away all the distractions or put away my phone, put away whatever you don't need. And then, so yes and no. I mean, I've firsthand witnessed someone go 24/7 hustle, and I'm not saying it doesn't work for everyone, but what I have seen on, firsthand, then no.
Yeah.
Like mental health problems come in, it affects then your relationships, your friendships, your other employees, if you have a business, that sort of stuff. So I think it's a bit of a controversial answer. It can be yes and no to a degree, yes.
Yeah.
But then, definitely there's the perks to it, and then there's the downfalls.
And it comes back to mindset.
Yeah, like you have to be healthy in your mindset, and you have to be healthy in your body, physically and mentally, psychologically, in order to be able to hustle 24/7. And if you're not at that stage where you are 100% happy with all the other surroundings, I don't think that you're in a position to, get to your full potential in whatever hustle it is that you're doing.
Yeah, true.
But I mean,
great
come
answer.
at me, people. Like that's fine.
Great answer.
Okay. What money belief did you grow up with that you had to unlearn?
That money is hard to make. And I think that
I think there'd be people disagreeing with that comment as well.
Yeah, but I think like that's my belief. Like I think I grew up thinking that it is hard to make. Yeah. Like it's hard to come about money, and only some people get that, and only some people get the success and whatever. Like you have to be a special type of person. You have to go through like school, and you have to go through university and all that sort of thing to like
and get your big girl job.
Yeah, I dropped out of uni in my first semester.
I dropped out after a year.
Yeah, but I think like the fact that money is hard to make, I think that's something that
you've had to unlearn.
Yeah, but it's so true. It's definitely not. It's just I feel like first of all being around the right people and being open to new experiences, because then you learn new things and all that sort of thing. And from doing all those sort of things and more, like I've realized that it's definitely not hard to make. You just have to know.
It's your choice.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The 5, isn't it like the 5 closest people to you? Like, show me your closest 5 friends and I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
I believe in that because, I mean, as I was saying to you the other day, like you hang around successful people and you're more driven and you want more for yourself.
Yeah.
And you hang around people that are just like happy doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're not going to be as driven. So
yeah.
I do agree with that. Good answer.
I follow this guy on Instagram. I can't remember it's like Sam someone, and he's originally from New Zealand, and then he moved to, I think, Logan, and now he's like absolutely killing it, so rich in Dubai. Like,
good on him.
Someone will know who he is. I can't remember how you say his last name. Killing it, and he posted this reel actually saying, literally, like, who you surround yourself with is basically going to determine how successful you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too.
Especially when you come from like, I'm not basing it at you, but if someone comes from like a low socioeconomic economic background, like their views on money is going to be a lot different to someone that comes from like a successful, wealthy family.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's me.
Do you think that do you think that financial success and self-worth are linked?
Yes, 100%. I do agree with that. I think that when you believe in yourself and you believe that you are worthy of success and you believe that you are worthy of achieving more than you thought was capable of achieving, that self-confidence then skyrockets. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, good answer. I agree.
I think it's a pretty simple answer with that one.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you had to dim your light to make others comfortable?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like there's been times when I've walked into like a room or like I don't know, somewhere, for example, and like I look the way that I look. Like I look like a Gold Coast girl. Like I look through and through.
Definitely do.
Through and through. But I came here to the Gold Coast looking like this. But I also know that I'm not dumb. I know that I'm intelligent, and I think that knowing that, and when I walk into a place, sometimes I'm like, I feel
out of place.
Yeah, or I feel a bit insecure. I'm like, they're going to assume that I'm dumb. So why would I like?
Or that because you look a particular way,
I
they're
must
going
be
to assume that.
And that's not to say that a Gold Coast girl is dumb, but I'm saying it's just a stereotype that I have received or I have gotten from people because I'm blonde, usually blonde and tattoos and big boobs and tan and whatever, that I must have no brain. But I think
when it comes to boys, sometimes.
But I think, like there's been times where it's like, okay, well, it's easier for me to act like I'm not as intelligent as I am, just to make everyone else feel comfortable, because I know when some people open their mouths that they're not as, and this is not putting myself on a pedestal. Like I'm a lot more intelligent than them, and it's no disrespect. It just is. Like sometimes you can just see that, but I don't want to make someone else feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I've just shut up.
Yeah. Good answer. Okay, you're up again.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh.
What does confidence mean to you now?
Oh, not giving a like literally just being who I want to be and not being scared. Like for example, doing this and posting this, it makes me feel nervous, but I'm like, do you know what? Who cares? Like I'm just going to be confident, because at the end of the day, and it goes back to the other question, if I dim my light and not be confident and not be who I am and be scared of that, then I'm not going to get to where I want to be. And no one else is going to pay my bills.
Money is not going to fly through the air and land on us. Can you manifest that? Please. I'll rub my crystals and you manifest it.
So I think, like,
knowing who you are inside makes you confident.
Yeah, and just being secure with myself. Like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Like now I'm at a point where I don't care if you don't like me. That's on you. That's not my issue. If you don't like me, cool, bye.
Yeah,
I'm happy with who I am. So yeah.
And I used to be very similar. If I heard that someone didn't like me, instead of being like, "Oh, I don't care," I'd be like, "Why? What did I do wrong by them?" Whereas at the end of the day, if I don't know that person, why is that affecting me? Like they probably don't know a single thing about me, and they've heard something from someone's cousin's brother's uncle. And they just assume the worst.
Literally,
I feel the same. Like, we are who we are, and as long as we know that, it shouldn't matter if someone likes us or doesn't like us. Like we've got our circle of friends around us that do like us, and that's really,
and that's all that matters. Like I'm not trying to now I'm not trying to impress anyone. So as long as like I be confident in the woman that I am and do what I want to do and whatever. And I think over time, as you start to fall into that version of yourself and being more even if you have to pretend to be confident or pretend to be the person that you want to be, eventually you're like, it will catch up with you, and you will be that version of yourself that you're trying to be.
Manifesting.
What do you think makes a friendship grow through different seasons of life?
Knowing that you've got the same values, the same morals, the same intentions, you're honest, you're loyal to your friendship, you're trustworthy. I think that no matter if we're 5 years apart or, we don't see each other for 2 years, as long as we know that our intentions are pure, that's what keeps a friendship strong. I mean, also, if you're constantly hanging out with that person, then obviously you have to have similar like avenues of where you're going, and sort of be the same level of drivenness. If that's a word. Drivenness.
Have the same drive.
Don't worry, I wasn't that good at English. I can talk underwater though. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Cool. Love that. Drivenness. Okay. What do you think? Oh, we have like the same questions. Where are we up to? Okay, we'll just do maybe like one more each.
Yeah. Okay. What does success look like for you now?
I feel like, obviously I'd be lying if I said financial is not the main part of success, but I think with that it's so many more things. Like it's freedom, like having the time and the flexibility. And if I'm successful in life with obviously money, then I'm going to have that time. I'm going to have that freedom. But also success is having good people around me, having the things that I want in my life, having the partner that I want, having healthy parents, having like all those things that are important to me. And if everything is going well, then that's success. But I still think like obviously money, whether people agree or not, money does to some degree.
It's a driving factor.
Yeah, and buy happiness. And it helps with so many things.
You're going to get a bit of backlash on that one too. Money doesn't buy happiness. But no, it buys freedom that turns into happiness.
Yeah, correct. And it can help with so many other things. So I think that all those things together under that like umbrella is success.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah. What scares you the most about the future, and how are you facing it?
Doubting myself scares me the most. I think that when I'm motivated, I believe that I can achieve anything. What scares me the most is that little voice in the back of my head that sometimes pops in and out that goes, what if it doesn't work? What if it fails? Like, are you going to be strong enough to get back up and stand up again and try again? That's definitely the fear of failure.
It all comes back to like trusting yourself and trusting your intuition, which I think like we both are very intuitive. And I think like trusting that feeling inside you. So love that. Okay. These are questions now for us both. So where do we see ourselves in 2 years and 5 years?
I'd like to be in Greece on a massive boat.
Wait, is this in 2 years or 5 years?
Maybe 5. Let's be realistic. Traveling the world. No, seriously. I'd like to have bought a few properties in the next 5 years. I'd like to be financially set up. I'd like to be, if I haven't yet had a child yet, I'd like to be, organizing a family. Having a family, raising a family.
We'll be 35 by then.
Look, when we're younger, like when I was 20s, I was thinking, by 27, I'd like to be married. I'd like to have 2 kids, and here we are, we're both at 30.
I know.
So we do need to start thinking about the future. I'd like to be raising a family. I'd like to be in a financial position where I do have that freedom and I am happy. And I'm not worried about anything or stressed about like counting pennies each week and going, we can't afford this. Like that's where I see, and it shouldn't come back to the financial side of it, but if we're touching on the financial side of it, that's where I would like to be. I like to be able to be working online. I don't see myself having this big pregnant belly, like driving people around in mental health.
Yeah, no, we won't be doing that. We'll be
living a happy, peaceful, content life, raising a family. That's where I'd like to be.
hopefully working on our business too.
Yeah. We both have a bit of ADD, so we need to be always doing something.
Yeah.
If I was just literally sitting at home feeding my cat and feeding my babies, I would probably be going a little bit insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do you see yourself in 2 years and 5 years?
In 2 years, I see myself. Gosh, I actually didn't think of this. I feel like in 2 years, I want to be obviously with our business like going really, really well.
Yeah.
And traveling because of that.
Yeah.
That's
the goal.
I think as well, I want to also, have that on a consistent route or have that on a consistent flow. And I also really want to keep going with my trading and eventually have a community of other women that want to learn how to trade. Because for me, I felt like it was really difficult for me to learn. So if I can help other people, I would love that.
Definitely. And step away from work as an employee and rather be an employer.
Yeah. Hopefully have met my husband by then. That would be nice. That would be nice.
Well, we got to step away from tattoos, problems.
No, I'm staying single now. But yeah, I think obviously that. And then in 5 years' time, I obviously want to have the properties as well. I want to be driving around in my Urus, my Lamborghini Urus. And just be living like a life of flexibility and freedom. Yeah. And that's what I truly believe is going to happen.
On our own schedule rather than someone else's schedule.
Yeah. And I think that we're going to get there. I know it.
Can you manifest it?
I can, yeah. No, I can for me. I don't know about you. Okay. What have you learned from watching my journey up close?
Without making your head grow, I actually am really proud of you.
Oh.
You were a very different person 5 years ago or whenever it was that we met. You were a ball of you were just the biggest overthinker in the entire world. You stressed about everything. You jumped from job to job, not knowing what you were doing, where you were going. You were out partying. Like, you were definitely a different person.
I was a lost soul, yeah.
No, you were just finding yourself through alcohol.
I wasn't that bad.
You weren't that bad. Like, there's been worse. But you have come a long way, especially with like your mindset, because you were a very anxious person. Like, you were stressing constantly about things, and I feel like we're similar in that way because I'm an overthinker as well. I think that maybe we've both got the same answer to this question because I don't know, I'm not talking on behalf of you, but I think that's you've grown a lot. But that's what happens, I suppose. As years go on, you learn more about yourself and you have to want to change things in order to grow and be a better person. If you're still the same person as you were 5 years ago, like, that's you need help.
I think so too. Like, I feel like I have changed so much. Like, I feel like I do feel like a different person. Which is nice. Yeah. Thank God. Okay. What do
I need to ask you that
where
about
do I see? Where do I see? Oh no, wait. Yeah. Ask.
Yeah. Hang on. So, what have you learnt from watching my journey up close?
That you don't stop. I think as well that once you set your mind to something, like, that's it. Like, you're
it's like tunnel vision.
Yeah. I think as well, like, same goes back when we first met and when we first become close. You were so like anxious all the time, and you like the things that you were doing.
Relationships can make you do very tough.
I think you have completely changed as well, and I think I'm really proud of you as well. I think that it's just nice to see like how, like, obviously we've been friends, I think it's like 6 years now, so cute to see, like, reflect back on like who we were and how we acted, like, because we are very similar, and to see like the growth as well. Like, it's nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks. Well, that's kind of you. Okay, we have one more question. What are you currently focused on? This could be in terms of life, business, or anything else.
Okay, so lots of things. First of all, obviously my mindset and like making sure that I can fix all these like subconscious beliefs that I've got, because they are affecting me in my business, in relationships, and how like I show up as a person. So definitely that is my number one priority at the moment. And then obviously our business, which I'm super excited about. So I feel like this is going to be...
You will see in time.
I'm with 7 media socials. Like, I feel like it's going to be exciting.
The go-to,
yeah. So I'm super excited about that. And obviously I'm going like head first into this. So
Yeah.
that is obviously my mindset, and doing this like is like my main focuses right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
I'm really
obviously
proud of you as well, because I don't know if you want to cut this out or not, but being just going through a breakup and then having the focus shift to something that's more beneficial to you, I think is a really good avenue to go down.
Yeah,
and it's keeping your mind busy.
Well, do you know what? Like, I think like even though yes, it's keeping me busy, but I just feel like everything that's happened was meant to happen. Like, I knew that was going to happen, and I knew that needed to happen for me to get onto this path now and to fix these like issues within inside me. And
I think we all have issues. Like, you're not a problem.
No, but I know, but I still feel like it's affected the way that I am.
Yeah.
So now that I'm aware of it, I can fix that and focus on this. And it has been a huge distraction, but a great distraction. And I like now it's not even a distraction. It's
what was your quote you said before?
Huh?
The redirection.
Oh, it's not a loss, it's a redirection.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, absolutely not a loss.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And for you, what was the question? Oh yeah. What are you currently focused on what are you currently focused on? This could be in terms of life, business, or anything.
Okay, I'm very similar to you. I'm focused on bettering myself. I don't want to be the same person I was a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And I think we've just already touched base on that. The future is the future, and we've got to live in the present in order to then become better in the future.
Yeah.
I'm back training, and I'm enjoying my training. I'm sticking to my
Good
training.
girl,
I'm sticking to my routine. You know, I used to be up every morning at 5 a.m. and then the past 6 months I've just been getting up just in time for work, cruising along,
you still go for your
coffee.
Yeah, your walking stuff.
But like my cardio is back in the mornings.
Yeah.
I'm eating healthier. I'm a bit more structured now, which is a lot better for my mindset and for, you know, in order to progress as a person.
Yeah.
If I'm going into something new and exciting that we're doing, like as long as I am a healthier, happier, you know, physically better person as well as emotionally, like I think that I can give a better me than, you know, not doing those things.
I think it makes you feel so much better as well when you are training like consistently and you are doing your steps or your cardio or whatever. It definitely change. I'm sure for you as well, but definitely changes the way that you show up in the day. Yeah, and it makes you feel so much better. And then you can, when I go to bed at night, and probably the same with you, when you fall asleep or you're about to fall asleep, it's like, yes, I ate healthy. I stuck to I stuck to everything.
I didn't eat a block of chocolate today. Yes,
and it just makes you feel so much better. So, yeah.
Funny enough, I've actually had a bag of sour worm snakes in my car, and usually they would be gone in the first half an hour, and it's taken me like 2 weeks to eat them.
Oh my gosh!
Like, yes, just have a couple, get a little bit of sugar hit, and then, you know, wait till the next day.
Oh my god, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I know, it's taken me
so good.
How many years to stick to a couple runs?
Oh my gosh, I can't do that.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening.
No, we're not ending it like that. We're gonna. Oh, no, I don't feel like we should end it like that.
Okay, you talk.
I think we should sort of talk about this.
Okay.
So, and then what we're doing is we're going to be working on creating content for brands, but not just businesses, brands. We have a few people or businesses in mind, but not just like regular businesses, not just like creating content for like service.
We've sort of narrowed down our niche to who we want to target in these businesses.
We won't be doing like product shoots as such. Yeah. But we're going to be focusing on creating content for for businesses and
Social media is both very toxic to some, and then to another extent it's a massive leverage for business and for making money online. For a long time we've both wanted to do something online, so I think this is our opening to learn, to create, to help you guys.
But I think as well, like
with building it
and creating like our own personal brands, and because I feel like the way that we show up and the person that we want to be in the future, this is sort of what we're going into now as well. So like having our business together and creating the content for, you know, for companies and that sort of thing, as well as building ourselves up. So then eventually if we want to take that off to something else as well, we can. Yeah. Because what's the point in having a social media account like these days?
If you're not utilizing it,
I just
to its maximum
potential. Otherwise it's like
its maximum potential.
Otherwise it's like a dating app. So and I'm not using it for that.
We already create, well, I don't know, you don't post that much. But for me, I post my highlights. I post the things that make me happy.
Because I don't do anything except for work and trade and go to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm here, me neither.
Yeah.
But I do love my holidays, especially to Thailand, and my whole Instagram page is pretty bright and bubbly, and it's like, this is me in Thailand living my
Yeah.
best life.
Yeah, and I think if we can, like, obviously monetize on these accounts, like, we would be silly not to,
Yeah.
like, to not make something of something, like, and
Make something
why,
of something.
yeah, make something of something. Like, why can't
Right.
we?
Okay.
Like, why can't we do something like that? Like, so many other people do. So what's to say that we can't do that?
Exactly.
Like, we can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to us.
Yeah.
So what's a better time to learn it, to
Yeah.
grow now?
Yeah. Watch
to
this
help
space.
our better future self.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoy our lives.